theme testing is one of the most powerful types of tests you can run with Shogun's A/B testing. Because not only can you test one theme versus another, you can test any of the elements that live on a theme level. For example, a site-wide announcement bar or your cart checkout type. What you can do is duplicate your theme and then make a change on one of those elements. So your navigation menu lives on a theme level. Things like email pop-up boxes. The options are really, truly endless, which is partly what makes this so powerful. And I could walk you through a million of them, but today I'm going to give you 7 popular theme test ideas that you can get started doing with Shogun and explain to you why it's so powerful and how it can be so beneficial for your store. So let's dive in. Let's start off with talking about why theme testing is important. And I'm going to walk you through a scenario that most e-commerce teams have felt at least once. You update your theme, you push it live, suddenly either conversions tank or revenue jumps. One theme update can easily make or break your numbers, and most brands are shipping these changes completely blind. This is why we built theme testing in Shogun. Instead of gambling your entire store on a single launch, you can validate full store design changes before they go live. You get real shopper data, real behavior insights, and you can see whether that new theme is going to perform better without risking your entire storefront. It's basically a safety net for design decisions and a smarter way to roll out big changes with confidence. So now let's dive into a couple of theme test ideas you should try before you launch your new theme. Theme test idea number 1 is testing your site-wide announcement bar. The Sitewide Announcement Bar is one of the best things to run when you are doing a sale or a promotion because everyone can see it across all the pages of your site. So with a theme test, you can create a version of your theme that has that announcement bars so you can see if it's actually impacting engagement or sales before committing to it. This is really helpful for things like site-wide discount codes or launching a new product or seasonal collections. You can validate whether that banner actually helps people take action without making permanent changes to your site. Under the theme section of your online store, you can simply duplicate your existing theme and then make the edits that you want to test. So in this example, the existing theme already has the announcement bar, and in the duplicated version, we'll just remove it for our test. In the next step, we'll head over to the A/B testing app to set it all up. Now I'm setting up my test in Shogun. So I've named my test and I've added a note so I can remember some details. Next up, I'm going to choose my theme, the craft theme, as well as the variant that I've already duplicated and taken that announcement bar out of. After I've chosen my theme and my variant, I'm going to just review the traffic split as well as my goals and also the audiences to see if there's any further segmenting that I want to do. This all looks good to me, so I'm going to leave everything as is, and in the next step, I'm just going to review the test and set it live. Now when visitors come to the storefront, they'll see either one of these 2 versions of the theme, and we will actually be able to see if that announcement bar is really having an impact in driving sales. Let's talk about total site rebrands. If you want to roll out a full rebrand, then testing it is a smart way to do it because you can create a separate version of your theme with all that new branding applied and test it with real traffic before making a permanent change. So a rebrand usually includes things like updated fonts, colors, or large-scale layout changes, and that can shift the entire look and feel of your site. You really want to test this so you can be sure that your shoppers respond well, and it's going to give you a little bit of confidence before you make that big new change on your site. If you want to switch up your site's theme, you should probably test it before you make that big change so you can get a clear read on performance and stability before you make it permanent. So this can be especially useful when you're upgrading to a Shopify 2.0 theme, or if you want to change your theme because of speed or reliability or performance issues. Testing it early helps you ensure that everything is going to work as expected and it protects your revenue during that transition. So a very common scenario for this is when merchants want to change their theme before a big sale, let's say Black Friday. What they can do is they don't want to risk issues on those busy days, so they roll out this theme test before with a small percentage of traffic and monitor it to make sure that load times and user behaviors still go smoothly, and then they can safely roll it out once they know it performs well. Testing your navigation. Your navigation plays a critical role in the shopping journey. A clear and intuitive navigation menu can make it easy for shoppers to find what they're looking for and buy, and a confusing one can cause them to bounce early in the shopping journey. So, theme testing makes it easier for you to experiment with these menu changes before rolling it out site wide. So, let's say you want to try a new menu structure or reorganize your categories. You can do that with a theme test without risking that it's going to cause sales to tank or really confuse all your shoppers. So, an example for this would be expanding your catalog. If a merchant wants to add several new product categories, but they don't want to overcrowd and overcomplicate their menu, they can do that with a theme test by seeing how that revised grouping products differently, seeing how that revised categories can work, testing it with a small audience, and then rolling it out only once they know it actually works and get shoppers to check out faster. Testing your carts. Okay, your cart has a major impact on how people actually check out. So you want to make sure that you're using the right one for your store. Some stores perform better with a normal checkout page. Some do better with a mini cart or a modal pop-up. When you do a theme test, you can stop guessing about these experiences and see exactly what your shoppers respond to. So you can test different approaches, like I just said, like a cart page or a cart drawer, modal cart, mini cart. Measure which one has the least amount of friction, which one gets your customers to check out and gets them paying. This can be really helpful to do before you run a big promotion or launch a new product or some high traffic seasons, because even like the smallest changes of a cart experience can influence your revenue. Don't risk it. Instead, just test that cart with a theme test beforehand. Pop-ups. Raise your hand if you have ever had a pop-up on your e-commerce site. You probably have, because they are very common. But you want to be sure that your pop-up makes the most sense for your customers and that it's actually growing your list and also growing sales. You can test your pop-ups with a theme test. You can easily experiment with different versions to see which message or offer or design or timing gets that best response so that shoppers are actually giving their email or their phone number if that's what you want. You could test a version that's focused on a discount, one that's focused on a rewards program, one that puts emphasis on your brand values. You can test one that asks for an email, one that asks for an SMS. You can turn testing pop-ups off completely if you want to see if that's a cleaner experience and that actually gets more shoppers to your checkout. Either way, there's lots you can do with a pop-up, and you want to make sure that the ones you're running make the most sense for your brand. So you can use a theme test to test those pop-ups. You can use theme testing to test your third-party apps. Most Shopify stores have third-party apps like reviews, loyalty programs, and these tools are great, but they're often added through a JavaScript embed, which then lays on top of your theme and can impact how your page performs. So theme testing lets you measure the actual impact of these apps. You can create a version of your theme without the app and without its embedded script and compare it to your current setup to see how it impacts load times or stability and how customers interact on the page without that app. So really, if you suspect that an app is causing some friction and you want to see if the trade-offs are worth that performance dip, you can test on real traffic doing a theme test like this. It's going to show you if that app is truly valuable to your shopping experience. Could save you some money if you find out that it's not. The great thing about theme testing is that it's so flexible. These are a handful of ideas, but there is so much more. Anything that you change in your theme, you can validate with real traffic before making that change with a theme test. The important thing to know is there are some limitations, and one of those being app functions. So you can test by turning off an app altogether on one theme and running it on another. But if you want to test different app settings, it might not be possible side by side if the app is active in both themes. So that's just one limitation to know about theme testing. But other than that, there are just so many ways you can use it. And this can be really important because, again, you want to validate any change you make, and these changes can have massive impacts. Don't change things blind. Run a theme test and make sure that you're making the right decision for your store. You can run any of these theme tests with Shogun A/B testing, and you can start with a free trial and get that theme test running today if you wanted. There's no code involved and it's very easy and intuitive to use. Remember, changing anything on your theme can be a major shakeup for your site. So you just want to be confident that you're making the right change, and a theme test can help you do it. You can find our Shogun A/B testing app in the Shopify App Store. And if you liked this video, I'd love it if you give it a like and a comment below, and you can subscribe for more tips and tricks on optimizing your Shopify store.